One. May. Hi everyone, I am Bhumika and today we have with us Rani Agrawal. Rani is a passionate actress. She made her debut in Hindi rom-com film Love Recipe as the female lead, which was released all over India. She is also a partner at a reputed CA firm in Mumbai and a social entrepreneur with her venture Hope in Art. We are elated to have you here with us, Rani. Welcome to our channel.
Thank you, Bhumika. Thank you, Fraternity, for this wonderful initiative and for having me on board. I'm excited to talk about my journey. My journey is, of course, very special to me, but I hope that others and the CA aspirants and other people can take away a few learnings from it.
Sure, and I'm so sure that a lot of students would want to know a lot from you. So tell us something about yourself most people don't know.
Something about me. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So, what I get a lot is that whenever somebody meets me for the first time, or somebody if knows me like only through Instagram or Facebook or something, finds me a little bit like, she must be having a lot of attitude or she must be having a lot of air about herself. But this I've heard a lot from a lot of people. So I think deep down, I'm just a very simple girl. So this is something that I don't think many people know about me. So my value system and whatever that I believe in are very simple things, and there's nothing complex about me. So that I believe is something that people don't know yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you are a very grounded person, and that's amazing. So
Yeah.
let's begin with your journey. You started acting at a really young age, and you managed academics along with your acting journey. So tell us something about that period.
Yeah, I started acting at an early age, as early as I was, I guess, 3 or 4 years old.
Okay.
Because so when I was at home, I used to do a lot of antics at home. I used to put on a dupatta, or I would dance, or I would enact something, and my mom would be like, "Okay, she is a full nautanki piece, and we can do something about it." So she kind of got a photo shoot done, and I had my first photo shoot when I was 3 years old or something. And somebody saw my pictures in the studio and asked my mom if I would be interested in doing something for television. So my first project was this serial which used to come on ZTV, which was called Hasratein. At that time, it was a very, very popular show. And I was playing Harsh Chaya's daughter. And it just started from there, and it just one thing led to another. And I actually loved being on set. Even as a child, I loved it when the director would tell me. I still remember, even when I was like, my first scene that I was shooting for, I still remember that the director told me, ऐसा ऐसा करना है, इधर जाना है, ये करना है, वो करना है, बस जब मैं एक्शन बोलूंगा तब ये सब करना है. And I would follow that, and when everybody would be like, ha ha, सब अच्छे से हो गया, I would really be happy. And I loved that environment on set. I loved getting my makeup done, I loved getting my hair done, and it's just something that I fell in love with organically. And um, so did a lot of ads, did a lot of TV shows as a child artist. All this while I was balancing school also. So there was never a time when I would compromise on my school days or something. I would attend my school properly. I would not take too many holidays. So that was something that my mom ensured. So yeah, then eventually when school, when it was my 10th standard, so that time when I was doing the show called Betia for Creative Eye, which was again for ZTV. So at that time when my board exams were like in March, and I was shooting till end of Jan, and I told my mom that I have to top my school. Like it is my goal, it is my dream, so I need to make a choice here. So at that time, I told my producers and I told my mom that this is something, Abhi, I need to take a break. So that is when I took a break, and there is no regret because I did top my school, and I did get good marks, and there's been no turning back since then.
You sound like a person who's, a jack of all trades, scholar and brains with beauty.
I'll tell you what the secret is. So
Okay.
the thing is that I loved a lot of things. I
Hmm.
loved being on set. I loved studying. I was a proper nerd. I was a front bencher. I would love making notes. I loved having different colored pens and highlighters and pencils and erasers. I would love making notes. And that was something I totally enjoyed. That entire process of studying, staying up till late, appearing for exams, getting good marks. I was a teacher's pet. So all of that. So I totally loved the process. So because I loved it so much, it was
Yeah.
never work for me. Like it like how it is, like if you love what you're doing, you're not working.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. So I loved studying, which is why my academics was great. I loved acting, which is why I always took on projects which challenged me, which made me feel like, okay, I'm doing something worthwhile.
Mhm.
So I think that was the secret behind everything.
Yeah, you sound like the secret is so simple yet so impactful. And I'm sure we must
Exactly.
all learn from this that whatever we are doing, we should do it with utmost dedication. So, yeah,
Yeah, and if you really like what you're doing, then the dedication just comes like that.
yeah, that's
Because
how,
then you just push yourself so much because you just want the best for yourself.
yeah, impressive. So, let's get on to your journey as a chartered accountant. When and how did you decide that you want to pursue chartered accountancy?
So I do hear a lot of people saying that I always wanted to be a chartered accountant. Like my dad, for instance, he's also a chartered accountant. He always wanted to be one, which for which I have utmost respect. But I was not one of those. Even till my 12th standard, I was not that clear if I wanted to do CA or BBA or BMS or something in the creative field altogether, because when I cleared my 10th standard, it was just a natural process for me to go to NM College. NM College is like a CA factory. Everybody does CA over there. So it's very difficult to not get influenced. And I always wanted to have, to do something which, is something different. So I didn't, somewhere I felt that, okay, the CA thing is overdone in my family. So I want to do something else. So I was not so keen on it actually. But after 12th standard, I don't know, there was this switch which just flipped. And I was like, कि नहीं, मुझे अब CA करना है. I remember the moment also, and it was late at night, and I just went to my mom and I was like, मैं CA ही कर लेती हूँ. So my mom's reaction was very like, okay. She was so chilled about it.
Yeah.
So after that, so actually I did a crash course after 12th standard. So people who study for the entrance exam 1 year in advance,
Okay.
I didn't get that time. So I did a crash course after 12th standard for 2 months.
Mhm.
And I prepared for the foundation, or the CPT, or what we call it as. I prepared for that, and I cleared that. And then it's just history because then IPCC happened 9 months later. IPCC was tougher than CPT. That things started getting real. Ki, okay, okay, you're doing this, and it is not so easy. So you have to put in a lot of effort. But that was something I loved doing. So IPCC happened, and IPCC के बाद तो CA final के लिए तो भाई इतना ये हो गया कि भाई ये तो बहुत ज्यादा है. इसमें तो
Yeah.
बहुत ज्यादा अच्छे से पढ़ना पड़ेगा. I still remember the time when I was preparing for CA final exam. My movie Love Recipe had released before my CA final exam. So
Oh.
I had to make a decision at that time also, that should I just pursue my movie career or should I give my final exam, which is just a year away. So at that time, I took this decision कि नहीं, CA complete करना है. This is something that I can not do again in life. Like I cannot act now and then come back to CA. So that was something I wanted to complete. So
Mhm.
when I was studying for CA, I remember 6 months I did not step out of my house. It was like a lockdown for me, something that we are all doing now. It was a self-imposed lockdown. I just used to go down for a walk or something, but I did not step out. I studied like a maniac.
Mhm.
So because I had that clear vision in mind that I want to get out of this at the earliest, and the goals were very clear to me, and it was just the journey that I had to decide how I would take it up. So for that I was like, bring it on, I have to do this. And I put in everything together, and then it was May, it was lovely, it was the exams happened, and I was just, after the exams I was a little depressed because I thought my papers didn't go well.
Mhm.
And at that time I was like कि ठीक है अभी देखेंगे जो होगा सो होगा. But thankfully I'm very grateful actually कि जब भी results come for my colleagues or my friends, I always thank my stars and I thank God, because that is a day that I think every CA aspirant really will remember for the rest of his life. Like that is the day that actually you will remember till the day you die. So that is something, there's something very surreal about that day. The day that you actually get your marks as pass that group 1 group 2 thing. So that is something that is really surreal.
Kudos to the dedication you have and managing acting along with CA. I mean, I can't even imagine that. So kudos to you for doing that. And okay, so let's go to acting now. How did you like? Tell us something about your big break in Bollywood with Love Recipe. And would you did you ever imagine that your life would be that way?
No, there was no plan to do Love Recipe at that age, because when I was acting as a child artist till my 10th standard, I was a child artist.
Yeah.
So I never had that plan कि okay ठीक है अभी heroine बनना है.
Mhm.
But 12th standard में जब I was offered this film, I was in my mindset, I had not grown up like that. So I was not prepared. ऐसे I had thought कि हाँ ठीक है graduation या CA के बाद जब भी होगा तभी we'll try. But as a plan was not there, it was totally unplanned. But there was this person who used to look after my work. So he told me that, see, Rani, this is a good opportunity. The director is really nice. He's a national award winner. And I think you'll get good experience. It's a matter of 8 to 9 months. So I was like, okay, let's try. So I auditioned for it. And apparently they put up, like a public thing on Twitter and Facebook and everything that we are looking for the female lead. And they auditioned almost 500 girls all over. They traveled all across India.
Mhm.
And I auditioned for it. I forgot about it. And 3 months later, then I get a call that, okay, come down and we want to go ahead with you.
Yeah.
So then that happened. So it was very dreamy, the entire thing that happened. We had lots of workshops, we had a lot of training, and everything happened. And the movie released like a year after its shooting. And so I went through the entire process at a very early age. I saw the pre production, the production, the post production, the promotion, the post release. So I saw all of this very closely. And I did fall in love with the entire process of filmmaking.
Yeah.
And it was very difficult for me to pull myself out of this world, you can say, and then come back to CA.
Mhm.
So that was something that happened. But the experience, if you ask me, all in all was amazing. It was great. I fell in love with every aspect of it. And at the same time, I loved studying for CA, and I loved the fact that I could clear my exam, and I could then decide, it was in my hand then what I want to pursue further.
Mm. I admire you for the kind of positivity you have, because not a lot of people have come on this podcast and said that, I love studying and I love studying for CA. So
Yeah.
that's the first
I
time.
loved I loved studying for CA. I always tell my interns and even the people I interact with at office, and मुझे तो बहुत मजा आया यार पढ़ के. मैं तो मेरा तो टाइम टेबल सेट होता था. मैंने तो 4 महीने का ऐसे टाइम टेबल बनाया था. एक एक दिन I had plotted what I will study. I was very happy at that time.
Amazing, amazing. Very
I
positive.
used to get I used to get very good sleep also that time. Proper 6 to 7 hours sleep I used to get. There was no stress. There was a lot of stress in the last 2 3 months.
Yeah.
Like when we were studying for like 15, 16 hours. At that time there was a lot of stress.
Hmm.
So yeah, but all in all I was very happy at that time.
Yeah. Sounds really nice. So let's because we are discussing Bollywood, so Bollywood gossip ke bina this session won't end. So tell us something about how chartered accountants are perceived in the Bollywood industry.
Yeah, this is a very interesting question actually. So whenever I go on any set, or even if it's any technician, be it director, be it the DOP, be it the producer, I get that kind of reaction. Oh my God, you're a CA. And I never get that reaction from my family or from my immediate friend circle, because They are okay. They're used to having CAs and doctors around. But in Bollywood and in this film industry, it's completely different. They totally are in awe of anybody who is like who has a proper degree.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also realize when I work with such people who are such amazing talents, that degree at the end is just a degree. So you have to have that drive and that talent inside you for you to shine. So it is not going to matter if you are a CA or a doctor or something in this industry, because you are what you are because of your talent. So that is something that really humbles me down, and it really tells me that no matter how many degrees you have in life, it is actually how you conduct yourself and how you perform, how you are at your core, that really comes out.
Yeah.
So that is very important.
That's a great lesson for all us, for all the students here, because even if we clear CA, it ultimately depends on how we perform. So yeah, skills.
Yes,
Very,
I actually know of many people who unfortunately could not clear CA for various reasons, but they are amazing talents.
yeah.
So I also tell them that it is not about the degree. It is a blessing if you're able to clear it and get out of this trap. But if not, then life does not end there. It
Yeah.
goes on, and you have to see it very positively.
Yeah, I'm surely I am very motivated through this conversation. So moving on to the academic part, you also became a partner at a very young age, and you are right now a partner at a very reputed CA firm in Bombay. So tell us something about that journey.
Yeah. So I when I qualified, and I was offered this job by the founding partner. He was so I did my articleship with them at Hari Bhakti and Company, and they moved on and started this firm called NMAH and Company, and they offered me this job because they knew me, I knew them, and they knew my background, and I knew what kind of work they were doing, what kind of clientele they were having. So I was very happy to be on board. They were very happy to have me on board, and the journey started from there. And the firm has grown a lot. I, as a person, as a professional, as a CA professional, has grown a lot. So we specialize in indirect taxation. Pre GST era, we were working on service tax and VAT projects, and now we are working on GST. GST, as you know, is so dynamic. It just keeps you on your toes. It never lets you chill or relax. When we were working on service tax assignments, it was kind of a set thing because we were just following what other people had set. In GST, I had to implement projects from scratch. We had to analyze, study the law. We had to tell our clients that this is how you're supposed to do, even technically implement projects. So that was something that kind of, just threw us off our chair, and we could not be complacent. We had to be really proactive in getting work done. So that was something very challenging. And I'm so happy that we actually went through that entire phase, because GST was a paradigm shift in the entire taxation system in our country. And having witnessed that, I think now we are ready for any challenge because we know that we can survive it. So that was something we survived. That was something that happened. So becoming a partner at a young age, I think, coming back to that, three things I think are very important. I think one thing is to know your business very well, to know your products very well. Like, what are you offering as a firm to your clients? You need to know all of things uh, very well. You need to know it in and out. Second thing I feel is knowing your technical, like knowing your law. Because being a CA, if you're practicing some law, you need to know that law very well. You need to know how to get the best for your client. So that is something that is very important. Third thing I think is knowing your team very well, because I think managing a firm, being a partner, is a lot about managing your people, managing your team. You need to know their strengths, their weaknesses, and that is how you get your work done. So after so having these three things all in one, I think the partners at my firm realized that okay, she's doing a good job, and we should promote her to the partner position, and that's how it happened. And it happened, yeah, at quite an early age in our CA fraternity. But that is something that a startup kind of experience that I had, because when I joined Nama and Company, it was kind of a startup. So being associated with them for the longest time has given me these results now. So that is something that I am really happy about, and I'm actually look forward now to this journey of partnership, because I know that there are a lot of challenges which are going to come in the journey, but I have that game face on, and I'm like, okay, let's do it.
That's really inspiring, and you are like a proper boss lady, just throw stuff at me and I'll get it done. So that's really nice.
Yeah.
So, moving on and look, continuing with entrepreneurship. So, you also started Hope in Art, which is your venture into this social entrepreneurship arena. So, tell us something about the idea.
The idea was very simple. The idea was to provide a platform for Indian artists, to have a platform to sell their artwork. When we met, so this was started by this friend of mine, Dimple, and me together, and we met a few Indian artists, rural artists, and we realized that they do not have a proper channel to sell their artwork. So we wanted to provide them a digital platform, which so we got our website developed. Also, we wanted to encourage new talent, because there is so much of talent in our country, but they just live an obscure life because either they don't have too many marketing skills, or they don't have the financial resources. So we are trying to overcome that, and also we wanted to encourage some established artists in the art industry to contribute some of their work, to donate some of their work, and the sales of which we could use towards proceeds towards the treatment of uh, underprivileged people. So for that purpose, we've even tied up with Tata Trust, and that is something that we are really passionate about, and we want to get this project rolling. It is still in its initial stage, but we are taking baby steps. Even with the COVID pandemic, it was difficult to get our business rolling, but we are trying hard, and I think we are doing a good job.
Yeah, that's very, very noble. That very noble cause that you're working on, and I'm a hope a lot of artists will.
Actually, something very interesting. I was just sitting with someone like a year back when this open art idea germinated. I was sitting with someone and I was explaining to him that ऐसा ऐसा है, ऐसा मैंने सोचा है. And that person is like, oh, so you're a social entrepreneur. And at that time, I was like, oh, is it? So I realized at that time, till that time, that was not the idea to be a social entrepreneur. It was just some idea that I wanted to work on. So he told me about it, and then I was like, okay, right, I'm that.
Whatever happens, happens for good, and I'm sure it will turn out the best for you as well. So,
Yeah.
because at fraternity, we are trying to bring personalities who shower, different aspects of CA as a profession. So, we are also trying to break some myths around it. So, what do you think is that one myth about CA as a profession that you want to break on this platform?
Uh, myth is that कि बहुत बोरिंग है या बहुत नॉट माई कप ऑफ टी, ऐसा काफी लोग बोलते हैं. I've heard people say that.
Yeah.
So that is something not true. I think it's very interesting. The course is designed very nicely, and I think every subject has its purpose. I think जो पूरा, even the 3 levels which are designed, the entrance, the IPCC, and the CA final course, they are all very well designed. I am totally for it. And if you have the aptitude, if you feel you are inclined towards something like this, you should go for it. You should not. I do see a lot of people, even in my immediate family, they just get scared. नहीं नहीं ये तो बहुत tough है, ये तो हमसे नहीं हो पाएगा. Not our cup of tea. It is not like that actually. If you work hard towards it, I think nothing is impossible. uh, I also tell a lot of people, whoever I interact with, that it's not just how much you study, it's not how good you are at the subject, it is how emotionally stable you are and how you perform on the day of the exam. That is also very important. So, if you feel you're an emotionally intelligent person, if you feel you can balance your mind, you can survive a lot of difficult situations because you have a strong mind, I think you can survive CA also, because it's not for the weaklings for sure. But it is not that you have to be like, you have to have some different level of aptitude for it. It's not like that. So I think that is one myth
That
that I
sounds
would want to break.
awesome because yeah, we wanted to bring out that because we are clearly against the hype that is around CA because people are like it's for boring people or it's really really tough and you won't
Yeah,
crack it. So
yeah.
thanks for the positivity. So last question, what advice would you want to give to someone who wants to follow a career path as similar as yours?
Career path as similar as mine.
Yeah, with acting and with CA, and just advice for all the youngsters out there.
I think a career path similar to mine, it cannot be designed, it cannot be planned. So you just, if you have the interest, then only go for it. Don't plan for it. Don't you cannot, like in CA, कि ये exam देना है, फिर ये देना है, फिर ये देना है. In acting, there is no written rule. There is nothing कि if you do this, you will get this, or if you don't do this, then ऐसा होगा. ऐसा नहीं है. So that is something you should jump into that industry with, after talking to many people, after knowing what you really want as a person.
Yeah.
And so it's I wouldn't say you should emulate anybody's career, but just take it as what you think is best for you. So yeah. And about young CA aspirants, I think what is very important in CA career, we've spoken a lot about success and about doing things. What people generally don't talk about is how they manage failures, and what happens when they make mistakes. So I think that is, I think in a lifespan of a human being, you fail more than you success. So failure is something that is an excellent teacher, and you have to know how to deal with failures. It's very important to actually not be in denial and to accept that, okay, I have failed at this. ये हुआ है मेरे साथ, and then sit back and introspect कि ये क्यों हुआ है, and probably make notes that, okay, this is not going for me. It is something that I need to work upon, and then work on it, and then come out of it, so that the next time if something similar happens, you succeed and you don't fail at it. So that is something I think all the young CA aspirants should sit down and introspect, because if it is very difficult once you're into this CA cycle, if you want to get out of it, but for some reason नहीं हो रहा है ऐसे I hear that a lot. So that is ठीक है. At one level you can say कि okay, papers were very difficult, या time नहीं था, paper complete नहीं हुआ, ये नहीं हुआ, वो नहीं हुआ. But at some level you need to sit down and have a talk with yourself कि ये क्यों नहीं हो रहा है. You need to have that chat with yourself and come out of it. And I think once you do that, then there is no stopping you, because you're aware of your limitations. You're aware that you can do this and this is something you cannot do, and then only you can make the best decision for yourself.
Yeah, that's a marvelous advice, Rani. And the key points that I have from this conversation is to embrace the uncertainty in your life and acceptance. Definitely, acceptance is the key. And we are thrilled that we had this conversation with you. Thank you so much for joining our channel.
Thank you, Bhumika. Thank you, Fraternity, for doing this. I am very happy that I could share my thoughts. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.